Hello and good afternoon my dear kids. Welcome back once again to this short tutorial video for class 8 students. And since we have finished the arithmetic section on the last video, so from this video onwards we will be dealing on the geometry section. Okay, so your first topic in the geometry section is from the triangles portion, so we will be dealing with the triangles first. Okay, so for triangle, what do we know about a triangle? Triangle is a closed figure having 3 sides, 3 angles and 3 vertices. Okay, here we have triangle. As you can see, I have drawn here a triangle A, B and C. The 3 points are marked as A, B and C, and 3 vertices also as marked as A, B and C, isn't it? So here we have triangle ABC, usually written as triangle ABC. Now this is how we denote the triangle, the symbol, a small triangle. Okay, triangle ABC with the 3 sides as AB, BC and CA, the 3 angles as angle ABC, angle BCA and angle CAB, and the 3 vertices as AB and C. Okay, now see, the vertex point, actually it means where an angle is formed. Okay, A, B and C, these are vertex where an angle is formed. And remember, when you are denoting a certain angle, and that time the vertex has to be written in the middle. Like for example, in this one, when you are denoting this angle, you can call this angle as CAB. Okay, angle CAB, or you can call it as BAC as well. CAB or BAC. Remember, the vertex has to come in the middle. When you are referring to this angle, that is B, at that time you can call this angle as angle ABC or CBA. Okay, ABC or CBA, the vertex has to come in the middle for referring a particular angle. Okay, now classification of triangles. So see, triangles actually are classified in 2 general ways. Okay, so the first one is by sides. Okay, by sides, and the second one will be by angles, which will be dealing afterwards. Okay, so by sides. So when we are classifying an angles by sides, so first there comes an equilateral triangle. An equilateral triangle is when all the 3 sides of a triangle are equal. When all the 3 sides of a triangle are equal, then the triangle is known as an equilateral triangle. So in an equilateral triangle, what happens is, in an equilateral triangle, not just all the 3 sides, since we are dealing with the sides of the triangle, so but what we also know is, and in an equilateral triangle, all the 3 angles are also equal. Okay, but since we are classifying the angles with sides, in referring to sides, so at first we have to say when all the 3 sides of a triangle are equal, at that time it's known as an equilateral triangle. Then afterwards what happens is, in an equilateral triangle, all the 3 angles will also be equal. Okay, all the 3 sides equal means it's an equilateral triangle. Remember that. Okay, now after that comes an isosceles triangle. Now say this one is also important. Okay, isosceles triangle, when 2 sides of a triangle are equal. Remember, when 2 sides of a triangle are equal, then the triangle is known as an isosceles triangle. When 2 sides are equal. Now what happens is, in an isosceles triangle, the angles opposite to the equal sides are equal. So in basic language, what we can say is, if in a triangle 2 sides and 2 angles are equal, then at that time those triangles in a triangle, when 2 sides and 2 angles are equal, and at that time what we can call is, that triangle is actually an isosceles triangle. Now what happens is, what do we know is, in an isosceles triangle, what happens is the angles opposite to the equal sides. See, that is what I have drawn all the 3 variations out here. See, for this triangle, that is I have drawn here ABC. Suppose if and the symbols are very important out here. See, in an equilateral triangle, I have just marked the lines with one line which has simply just cutting the line, the sides, isn't it? So that means these 3 sides are equal in equilateral. Similarly for angle also I have done just drawn with one arc. See, one arc. That means all the 3 angles are also equal. Okay. So similarly, what I have done here for isosceles triangle is, I have drawn a triangle ABC and I have marked AB and CB. The side AB and CB with one just have make a small cut on the side, isn't it? That means these 2 sides are equal. Now see, what we learn from here is, in an isosceles triangle, the angle opposite to the equal sides are equal. We know that 2 angles will be equal for isosceles, isn't it? Now which 2 angles? That is very important. Okay, So as I've already said, the angles opposite to the equal sides are equal. Now see, equal sides, AB and BC are equal sides. So now which is the angle opposite to this side? This angle, that is angle C, isn't it? Which is angle opposite to this side? This angle, angle A, isn't it? So that is why these two angles are equal for this figure. Okay, but yeah, but second thing that may happen is that sometimes you may get AC will be equal to AB as well, isn't it? So similarly, that is where I have drawn, see, I have drawn a triangle again, and in this one a small variation, I have changed the sides, the equal sides, see. That is why I have marked AB and AC with a small cut. So now what do I know? The opposite angle for this side is angle C, and the opposite angle for this side is angle B. So in that case, what we can call that AB and AC, the sides are equal, and which two angles are equal? Angle B and angle C. Okay. Similarly for this triangle, see, again I have moved the equal sides, AC and CB. Now for CB, the opposite angle is angle A. For AC, the opposite angle is angle B. So in this one, AB is angle A is equals to angle B. Okay. For isosceles triangle, remember two sides and two angles. Okay. Now after that comes a scalene triangle. Now see, for scalene triangle, what do we know about a scalene triangle is when a triangle has no equal sides or angles, then the triangle is known as scalene triangle. So that is why see, I have drawn here triangle ABC with, see, the mark cutting the sides as we see with 1, 2 and 3 out here. This means these three sides are unequal sides. Similarly, see the arc that I have marked the angles with 1 arc, 2 arc, 3 arc. All the three angles also unequal. Okay, 3 unequal sides, 3 unequal angles forms an scalene triangle. Okay. Okay. Now after that comes biangles. Yeah, biangles. Now see, for biangles, an acute angled triangle. Now see, a triangle whose all the three angles measures greater than 0 degree but less than 90 degree is known as acute angle triangle. Okay, a triangle whose measures greater than 0 degree but less than 90 degree. Here what you can say is all the three angles is less than 90 degree but greater than 0 degree. So since we don't know that whether they are equal or not, so that is what I have marked with 1, 2 and 3 arcs. Okay, but what I know is all the three angles is less than 90 degree but greater than 0 degree. And how do I know about that is, see, this is what you have done in your class 7 classification of angles, or types of angles as well. And for those who couldn't recall, please, if you couldn't recall your topic, then what you can do is the same for class 7, the school has already posted the video on angles as well, so you can refer to that video as well for those who couldn't recall. Okay, for those who could recall, so you may know that this is an acute angle triangle. Okay, so for right angle triangle, now this one is a very important one. Okay, the right angle triangle is the most important triangle of all. So see, right angle triangle, a triangle with one of its angle is equal to 90 degree is known as right angle triangle. One of the angles is 90 degree. So see, this is how a 90 degree angle triangle, right angle triangle looks like, and this is the symbol for 90 degree. And why I have given you all these names is because, see, these names are also very important. Okay, the side opposite to the 90 degree is known as the hypotenuse, and this is the longest side of a right angle triangle. Okay, the base is known as the base side, that is BC, is known as base also, and it's also known as adjacent, where the angle is formed, 90 degrees formed. Okay, the side where the angle 90 degrees formed is also known, one of the sides is known as base, adjacent, and another side is known as height, altitude, or perpendicular. Okay, they may sometimes use the term height, sometimes use altitude, or sometimes may use perpendicular as well. So that is why I have given you all the three names. Similarly for the other side, they may sometimes use it as base, sometimes they may use it as adjacent. Okay, and hypotenuse just has one name, that is a simple hypotenuse, no other alternative name. Okay, and after that comes an obtuse angle triangle. For obtuse angle triangle, a triangle with one of its angle measuring greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree. Okay, one of the angles is greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree, and it's known as an obtuse angle triangle. Okay, so this is how an obtuse angle triangle looks like. Okay, so as I've already said, please, those who couldn't figure out about obtuse, acute angles and all, please refer to that video from class 7. Okay. Now after that comes a median of a triangle. Now see, for median of a triangle, a median of a triangle is a line segment joining a vertex to the midpoint to the side opposite to the vertex. Now what does that mean? Okay, so a median of a triangle is the line segment joining a vertex to the midpoint of the side opposite to the vertex. From a vertex, if you draw a line segment which divides the opposite side into two parts. Midpoint means what? Midpoint means the midpoint of BC, that is the point which divides a line segment or a side into two equal parts, isn't it? So when from a vertex, from any vertex, okay, when from any vertex you draw a line which divides the other side, the opposite side, into two equal halves, and that time the line segment is known as your median of the triangle. Okay, so from here I have drawn a line segment D and I have marked C with one just small cut, one cut with in BD and DC. That means these two sides are equal. BD and is equals to DC in here. BD is equals to DC in here. So see, at that point this AD is known as your median. Similarly for from here, see, I have drawn from this vertex also I have drawn a line segment that has divided the line segment AC into two equal halves. See, AD and DC. At that time the BD is known as your median. Okay. Similarly for another, when I draw a line segment from C towards AB which divided the AB into two halves, that is AD and DB, that time CD is known as your median of a triangle. Okay. Now altitude of a triangle. Now remember the altitude, where we have heard this term altitude in the right angle triangle, isn't it? See, an altitude of a triangle is the perpendicular. Now again see the term perpendicular as well. An altitude of a triangle is the perpendicular drawn from the vertex to the opposite side. So simple, when you draw a line that is perpendicular from the vertex to the opposite side, perpendicular means 90 degree. Okay, if you draw a line that is perpendicular to the other line, then that line is known as your perpendicular or altitude of a triangle, and that is also known as your height of the triangle. That's what we have learned from the right angle triangle, isn't it? You see, a line that is drawn to the other side which is perpendicular means, as I have already said, 90 degrees is known as your altitude, perpendicular or height of the triangle. So this one is a right angle triangle. So what we know, this is our perpendicular. We can call it height as well. We can call it altitude as well, isn't it? So that is what we have done here. See, this line now here is known as perpendicular, or we can call it height, or we can call it altitude also. Okay. Now comes interior and exterior of a triangle. Now this one is also very important. See, interior and exterior. So simple. Interior means what? Inside. Exterior means outside, isn't it? Now what is the important thing in here is the property is very important. Okay, which relates interior and exterior. So I have just drawn a figure, two triangles, and I have shown you. See, interior means inside of the triangle, and exterior means outside. See, here in this figure what we have, see, here you can simply draw these angles. Now these are interior angles, isn't it? Now exterior, whatever is left, see, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, all these now angles, all these angles are formed here, isn't it? Now all these three from the point A, 3 in point C, and 3 angles formed in point B, they are exterior angles. Okay, now see, what is the relation between an interior and exterior? This is very important. Okay, the property. See, an exterior angle of a triangle is equal to sum of its interior opposite angles. Now listen very carefully. An exterior angle of a triangle is equal to sum of its interior opposite angles. That means an exterior angle of a triangle, if a triangle has been any side of an angle has been extended and they have formed an exterior angle. If any side of a triangle has been extended and there comes an exterior angle, the exterior angle will be equal to sum of its interior opposites, not just simply interior. Remember, interior opposites angle. Okay, so that is why this angle will be equal to the sum of these two angles. Okay, so that is what I have made here with 1 arc and here with 1 arc and 1 arc, sum of these two angles. Okay, similarly on the second figure, see, I have extended the point out here. Now this becomes our exterior angle. So the exterior angle here is also equal to sum of its interior. Its interior angle is this one, isn't it? Interior opposite angles. So these two angles. Now these two angles, actually this angle, that is the exterior and interior angle, actually they are linear pair. They are also known as linear pair. Okay, this is what you must have done in class 7. They are also known as linear pair because they lie on a straight line. They lie on BD, and this one they lie on AC. These two angles, they are linear pair as well. Okay. Okay, so the last topic for today from the basic part here we have is angle sum property of a triangle. Now this one is very important. Okay, angle sum property of a triangle. So the sum of three interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. According to angle sum property of a triangle, what we know is the sum of three interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So what we know from here is when we add all the three interior angles of a triangle, we'll always get 180 degree. Okay, it's a simple property, and there will be lots of calculations with this one as well. Okay, the sum of all the three interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. Now what I would like to say you is that, see what we have learned in an equilateral triangle. In equilateral triangle, what we learned is all the three angles will also be equal, isn't it? All the three angles will also be equal. X, suppose if I have assumed all the three angles as x and x and x. So according to angle sum property, what we know is when we add all the three angles, we'll get 180 degree. This is what we have learned just from the angle sum property of triangle, isn't it? So let's figure out how much the angle may measure. So x plus x is 3x equals to 180 degree. So x will be equal to 60 degree. That means the interior angles of an equilateral triangle, remember the interior angles of an equilateral triangle, what we can say is the interior angles of an equilateral triangle is equals to 60 degree. Okay, all the three angles of an equilateral triangle will be equal to 60 degree. Okay, so all the three angles of an equilateral triangle will be equal to 180 degree, because what we have known from equilateral triangle, that is all the three angles are also equal, isn't it? So this is also very important. So if there comes in anything about equilateral triangle, now what we know about equilateral triangle is that we know that all the three sides are equal, and we also know that all the three angles are equal. Now from here onwards, what you can say is that all the three angles will also be equals to 60 degree. Okay. So I hope you kids have understood today's lesson. So if you haven't, then if you are a little bit confused with the angles and all, please, as I've already said, you can check the video of lines and angles from class 7 part also. Okay, so till then, stay safe my dear kids, and stay tuned in for more updates. Okay, bye bye.